Dandavat Pranam. So previously we were reading Bhagavad Gita with the commentary of Vedanta Acharya Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu, and we were reading chapter 1, and now we will read shlok number 12. Tasya sanjanyayam harsham kuru vridha pitamaha singhanadam vinadyochai sankham dadmo pratapavan. So here we can understand the majestic elder among the Kuru Vridha Pitamaha, great grandfather, in order to bring joy. Tasya sanjanyayam harsham, Tasya, which means good Duryodhan, making the sound of lion, Singanadam, blew his conch loudly. Sankham dadmo pratapavan. Okay. So we can understand Tasya, which means that Duryodhan, Sanjanayam Harsham, so in order to bring joy, Kuru Vridha Pitamaha, which means the eldest among the Kuru, Pitamaha, which means great grandfather, Singanadam, just like lion, Vinadyochai Sankham Dadmo Pratapavan, blew his conch shell loudly, making the sound of a lion. Then we can understand that Bhishma, in great joy, understanding that Duryodhan was praising him, blew his conch shell to drive away the inner fear of Duryodhan. The use of the phrase Simha Nadam Vinadya is according to Panini rule Upamane Karmani Cha. Cha refers to another sutra to denote the agent as well as an object. Kartarya Upamane, it means sounding like a lion. So, first of all, I want to beg forgiveness because I don't have knowledge of Sanskrit Vyakaran. I have just heard from my Guru Maharaj Harikatha, and thus I try to serve the Gaur Priyojan by reciting the Bhagavad Gita. So I don't have any knowledge of Sanskrit Vyakaran, so please forgive me for that. I can't explain you. Without saying a word, just by blowing his conch, so without saying a word, Bhishma announced that he would give up his life according to Kshatriya Dharma for Duryodhan, though victory or defeat was really dependent only on the Lord. So here, if we explain, then we can understand that Bhishma in great joy. So Bhishma was in joy, understanding that Duryodhan was praising him. So in the previous shloka, as we understood that Duryodhan was praising Bhishma Dev, and thus Bhishma Dev, in order to drive away the inner lurking fear of Duryodhan, he blew his conch shell just like the roar of a lion. So just like in a jungle, if a lion roars, then all the other animals get very much frightened and run hither and thither. So therefore, just like the roar of the lion, as Bhishma Dev blew his conch shell, he drove away the inner lurking fear like the animals uh, uh, and made them run away from his heart, though it was temporary. So it is according to Panini rule, Upamane Karmanicha. I don't know what it means. So without saying a word, so Bhishma didn't said any word. He just blew his conch shell. Bhishma announced that he would give his life. So he didn't actually announce it verbally. It was through his actions. He said that he would give up his life according to the Kshatriya Dharma for Duryodhan, though the victory or defeat was really dependent on the Lord. So here was the climax of the whole commentary, that the victory or defeat was really dependent on the Lord or the supreme will of Krishna. So we can understand that even if one is a Atiratha and a very much well versed in martial arts, though without the will of the Lord, he can't even conquer any victory. So therefore we can understand that the will of the Lord is final. Next. तथा शंखाश्च भैर्यश्च पर्णवाणकगोमुखः सहसैवाभ्य हन्यन्त सशब्दस्तु मूलोऽभवात्. So then the conch, shankha, kettle drum, small drum, large drum. So conch, kettle drum, small drum, large drums were suddenly sounded, making a tumultuous roar. So tumulo bhavat. So we can see that the conch, kettle drum, small drum, large drum were suddenly sounded, making a tumultuous roar. Well, tumulo bhavat. Saha saivabhya hanyanta sashabdastumulo bhava. So here saha saivabhya hanyanta, which means that everything all together sounded sashabdastumulo bhavat, which means made a tumultuous roar or a very much loud kind of sound. Tadha shankascha bhairyascha. So here we can understand shankha, bhairya, parnavanaka, gomukha. So which were just like the horn of a cow or a bull. Gomukha. So Panavanaka Gomukha. So they all sounded tumultuously. Next, commentary. When Bhishma blew his conch at that time in his army, suddenly instruments and conches began to sound up Abhyanyanta is a reflexive passive relative meaning. The instrument were sounded by themselves or the instrument made sound. Panavanaka and Gomukha. Panavanaka and Gomukha are type of instrument. So as I told you, they are nothing but types of instrument. The sound was very great since the instrument sounded all at once. So we can understand that after Bhishma Dev blew his conch, so it was according to Niti that after the eldest of in the army uh, blows his conch or the instruct through blowing his conch, he gives order or command that now you all can blow the respective instruments as the commencement of the battle. So therefore we can understand that Bhishma Dev was the eldest, as we previously learned that he was Kuru Vriddha Pitamaham, and after his blowing of conch, others got the permission in the army to blow their instrument respectively. And it was just like that the instrument were sounded by themselves. Well, it's just a personification. That instrument made sound. It's not the instrument, it's the people or the army people who made the sound. Nothing but personification that the instrument made sound. Panavanaka and Gomukha are types of instrument. So as I told you, the sound was great since the instrument sounded all at once. Next, so it was all about the Kaurava army. Next we go to the opposition party or the army headed by the Lord. तथा श्वेतैर्हययुक्ते महति स्वन्दने स्थितौ माधवः पाण्डवाश्चैव दिव्यौ साङ्ख्यौ प्रदत्मतु. So तथा श्वेतैर्हयैर्. So Shweta, which means white in complexion, and Hayai, which means horses. Yukte means with. Yukte, which means endowed with or with. Mahati Swandane Sthitau. So they were placed. Who were placed? With their Madhava, which means Lord. The Madhava, which is referring to Krishna. And next we have Pandavas Chaiva. Pandava Chaiva Divyau Sankau Pradatmatu. So here we can see they have Divyau Shankha. Divyau Shankau Pradatmatu. So Krishna and Arjun standing in a large chariot. Mahati Swandane Sthitau. Okay, I understood. So Mahati, which means large. Mahati, which means large, and Swandane Sthitau. Swandane, I guess it's chariot, and Sthitau, which means that it is standing. So then Krishna and Arjun standing in a large chariot yoked with the white horses. Shvetai Hayat Yukte Divyau Sankhav Pradatmatu. Blew their divine conches. Okay. So here we can understand that it's not only the Kauravas party who had the desire to fight, it was also that the desire to fight arose in the troops of the Pandavas as described. Though the other were also standing in the chariot, Krishna and Arjuna are particularly mentioned in this regard to indicate the special nature of the chariot which was given by Agnidev himself, which had great power and could conquer the three worlds. Oh my god, that's really interesting. So the others were also standing, but especially we are focusing on Krishna and Arjun, Nar and Narayana, who are particularly mentioned because of the special nature of the chariot. And not only the chariot, it is also special because Swayam Bhagavan is appointed as the charioteer, and the chariot was given by Agnidev himself, and it also had dhwaja or victory flag, Jai Pataka of where Hanumanji resides. So therefore it's had great power obviously, and it could conquer the three world. Obviously the one who has Krishna as a charioteer, then that person would obviously conquer the whole world, even the three world. The chariot, quiver, horses were given to Arjun and chakra to Krishna by Agni before he devoured the Khandava forest. Okay, so Khandava forest was a forest which was infested with I guess it was Maidanav and the other Danavas. So it was infested with all of them, and also I guess serpents. So therefore the Agnidev, as Krishna suggested Arjun to sacrifice the whole forest to Agnidev, and as a sacrifice Agnidev always gives in return rewards. So therefore Agnidev gave chariot, quiver, horses to Arjun and chakra to Krishna. Though chakra is the inherent weapon of Lord, but it was just given by Agni acting as a medium. Okay. Next we have all the divine conscious that everyone blew. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Pondram Dadmo Mahashankham Bhima Karma Vrikodara Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putra Yudhishthiraha Nakula Sadevascha Shughoshamani Pushpakau Kashyascha Parameshwasaha Shikhandi cha Maharataha Drishtadhyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitam Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvasha Pritibhipate Saubhadrascha Mahabaho Sankham Dudmo Prathak Prathak. So Panchajanya is the conch of Rishikesh, the controller of the senses. Devadatta is Dhananjaya, the one who conquers wealth, or Arjun. Pondram Dadumau Mahashankham Bhima Karma Vrikodara. So it was a great conch of Bhima, which was named as Vrikodara. Ananta Vijayam Raja. So the conch of Yudhishthir Maharaj was Ananta Vijaya, Kunti Putra Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti Maharani, Yudhishthir Maharaj. Next, Nakula Sahadevascha, Sughosha Manipushpak. So these were the two shank of Nakul and Sahadev, respectively. Kashyascha Parameshwasaha, Shikhandi cha Maharatha. Kashi, so Kashyascha Parameshwasaha, Shikhandi cha Maharatha. So Shikhandi and Kashiraj, they were all Maharathi. So Drishtadhyumno, Viratascha, Satyaki, cha Parajita. So who is Satyaki? So Satyaki was nothing but the charioteer of Krishna. Next, Drupado, Draupadeyascha, Sarvasha Prithivipate. So Drupad and Draupadeyascha, which means Drupad Maharaj and Draupadeyascha, the son of Draupadi. Saubhadrascha, which means Abhimanyu, Mahabahu, they were all great warrior. They were great valiant warrior. Sankhan Dadmo Prithak Prithak. They all blew their conches separately. Okay. Now let's read the translation. Krishna blew Panchajanya, Arjuna blew Devadatta, Bhima of fearful deeds blew the great conch Pondrak or Pondra. Yudhishthira, son of Kunti, blew Ananta Vijaya. Nakula and Sahadev blew their conches Shughosha and Manipushpak. Then the king of Kashi, Kashiraj, who was greatest archer, Parameshwasaha, Ishwasaha, which means archer, Param Ishwasaha, which means greatest archer, Maharataha, Shikhandi, the Maharataha, Shikhandi, okay, the Maharataha, Shikhandi, Drishtadhyumna Virata Satyaki, who shone with his bow, okay, Drishtadhyumna Cha Parajitaha, okay, Drupada, the son of Draupadi, and mighty named armed Abhimanyu, blew their conches one after the other, O Lord of the earth. So here, who is referring whom to the Lord of the earth? So it was none other than Sanjay who was narrating the whole incident to Dhritarashtra. So therefore, O Lord of the earth, because as a king the king is referred to as the Lord of the earth. So let's read the commentary. So the name of the conches starting with Krishna's Panchajanya are listed. So we always starts with the one who is the most respectable, and it is only the Supreme Lord. So the word Rishikesha, which means master of the senses, used in describing the Lord indicate that the Lord would help this army. He would help by directing their senses skillfully. So that's a very important question, part, that as Rishikesha, as mentioned in this shloka, Rishikesha means master of the senses and indicates that the Lord would help this army by directing their senses, by directing the senses of the army soldiers very much skillfully so that they can perform their best output. Next, mentioning the name of the conches indicates that this person had many conscious of divine nature. The word Raja indicates Yudhishthira had performed the Rajasuya Yajna. Okay, so here we can understand that as Yudhishthira Maharaj performed the Rajasuya Yajna, so therefore he is befitting for the word Raja. The word Bhima Karma, man of ferocious action, indicate that Bhima had killed many demons such as Hidimba. Yes, we know from the Mahabharata that Bhima killed Hidimba and many other demons, and thus he has a very ferocious nature for the non-devotee and for the especially for the people with adharmic nature. Next, the word Dhananjaya indicate that Arjuna had gathered unlimited treasure when he went out to conquer the direction. Thus, the outstanding nature of Pandava army is indicated. So here we have said that Arjuna as Dhananjaya. So it means Dhananjaya, the one who has conqueror of wealth. So here we can understand Arjuna gathered unlimited treasures when he went out to conquer the direction. So Arjuna went to conquer every directions. So and thus conquered many unlimited and very much divine treasures. Thus, the outstanding nature of Pandava army is indicated. So here we can understand that how much exalted the position of the Pandavas are. The opposing army, not having this descriptive name, was therefore inferior. So here we can understand that though Duryodhan thinks that his army is the best, but we can understand from the description of this verse that they doesn't have any names of the special descriptive names of the conches and the soldiers. So therefore they are regarded as inferior because they lack the respectable descriptive names that we all have come across. So Kashya indicates the king of Kashi. okay, who was a great archer, Parameshwasa. Satyaki was shining with his bow, Cha Parajitah. Okay. O Dhritarashtra, Lord of the earth, Prithivipate, which means Prithivi, which means earth, and Pate, which means Pati or Swami or the Lord. Your bad advice has brought about this calamity in the form of destruction of the dynasty. It's nothing but it's actually the misdirection of Dhritarashtra to their son that it had driven them to this adharmic faction and to the adharmic path. So therefore, it is a suggestion: the king, as the lord of the earth, should be actually should also has the divine qualities to be the lord of the earth, which Dhritarashtra lacks because he can't even uh, direct his son to a dharmic path. So how come he be the lord of the earth? So therefore, it is very much irony. So therefore, we can understand that Dhritarashtra, as mentioned earlier, that he was not only blind from the materially blind of vision, he was also blind with the illusion of his son Mamata, and thus was blind spiritually as well. So we have covered till this, and today's date is 26/12/24, and we would continue the rest in the next session. Hare Krishna.